The first agenda for today's webinar is understanding why ACCA. So whenever a candidate decides to go for a professional certification, what benefits, what value is expected out of that? That is the first point of today's session. Second, specifically which roles can be tapped in. For example, when an ACCA enters into an industry, which typical roles can be targeted, which promotions can be targeted, which switches can be targeted, what variety of roles are available, and what is your ultimate target? CFO position tak, what is our overall roadmap? These are the 2 points I'll cover. Okay. Meanwhile, if you have any question, chat box is open. You can mention your query in the chat box. I'll answer it. Okay. Chalo, let's get started. Let's take one of the participants as an example. Now, I don't know Ankit's background, but I'm going to assume Ankit is a college student or someone who has just completed his UG. Undergraduation is completed, just got his bachelor's degree. Now we come under a dilemma of we have to choose a specific domain for our career. Ideally, the moment you enter into your college, UG, undergrad means your bachelor's degree, first year itself, we have to select. We have multiple options. Given that you guys are here already, I'm going to assume you are inclined towards either accounting or finance. Now, let me simplify this clearly. When we talk about first reason of going behind a certification, it is as simple as building the skill part. अब skill part कैसे build होता है? It's very example that imagine one day a kid decides to become a cricketer. अगर क्रिकेटर बनना है, so what is your step number one? You will learn how to play cricket. While playing cricket, you will learn how to bat or how to bowl. So similarly, when we have decided that we are coming into the commerce field and we are selecting either accountancy or finance, first thing we need to do is we need to learn. We need to learn what it is, how things are done, what kind of concepts exist, how a decision making happens in this field. And that is actually the most fundamental reason. When I talk to students, it directly comes down to package, it directly comes down to job. But this should be your, first principles approach, that why we are doing ACCA. First principles is basically emphasizing on why, the reason behind it. You should focus on building the skill part. Starts with a why. Why ACCA? Basically to learn what is accounting and finance. And to be honest, I mean, why specifically for commerce field? See, if you go back, check your BCom curriculum. Okay, not just your specific university, check BCom curriculum across multiple universities. You will see a huge gap. Gap in the sense what your academics are offering and what the industry requires. To be very honest, if BCom degree was good enough, if all the requirements were completed by BCom degree, these certifications wouldn't exist. There would have been no requirement or no even offering required in any market for any professional certification. But somewhere, unfortunately, when we talk about our BCom or any commerce degrees which are focusing on either on accounting or finance, they are not up to the mark. Which brings me to the next point. Even if they are up to the mark, even if they are up to the mark, if I talk about the second benefit of pursuing any professional certification, again in context of ACCA here, this comes to competition. I will give you scenario of the college where I studied. Okay, I studied from a college in Pune. Our BCom batch had on an average 600 candidates. For a minute, I'm gonna assume that BCom degree is up to the mark. You are industry ready, you are role ready. Now, a company comes down to your college for recruitment. And it can be assumed in other sense as well. Off campus, there's a company, they are hiring candidates. So 600 candidates have applied. You can take it in that sense as well. 600 candidates are there. There's a company which comes and says, we want 50 professionals, or let's say in this case, 50 candidates who are ready to join us full time in the finance and accounting team. Now, from this 600, when we are competing for 50 roles, everyone has BCom. Everyone has, let's say, good or decent marks. Everyone has the same degree, same subjects covered. So what is going to help you stand out? Now over here, out of the 600 candidates, if there are few candidates whose CV said that we have BCom plus we have completed a certification from ACCA Institute in accounting. If it mentions that they have diploma in accounting, again from an ACCA Institute. Or if they simply mention that they have completed 2 levels, they have completed the knowledge level or they have completed the skills level, which is going to be expertise level now after some time of ACCA. Even better if it says that they have completed the professional level. Students are able to do that. Very few, but there are students. Now, when all these things come onto your CV along with a BCom, Now, suddenly, the competition is not amongst the 600 candidates. You are ahead of the competition. You're ahead of the competition. One more reason why recruiters trust you. I mean, you will say that, I have certifications from some, let's say, XYZ Institute. I have certification from, let's say, Coursera. I have certification from Udemy. I have certification from ACCA Institute. Now, coming down to these points, it's all about skill building. But when it comes to competition, when your CV is kept on the table, why this specific institute is given more credibility, given more value? For one simple reason, private institutes, and I'm taking into consideration all private institutes, all coaching institutes. So when it comes to any ABC institute, something as big as, even let's say, Physics Walla tomorrow starts offering some their own certification. End of the day, it's a private title controlled by some private individuals. It can come under question that how the testing has happened. So it needs further filtering, needs further screening, it needs further interview process and testing process, to be honest. Coursera, the test is online. You can simply take help from ChatGPT now, pass the exam. So what's the proof that you were tested properly? Udemy, same thing. Again, what's the proof that you have been tested properly? Now comes ACC Institute. For exams conducted by ACCA Institute, you have to go to the exam center. There's an invigilator. Your exam is conducted in a strict scenario, in a well-managed scenario. Your papers are sent to the headquarters. They are checked. The marks are given. You are evaluated globally with a passing rate. Depending on the paper, the passing rate for subjects in ACCA institutes usually range amongst these numbers, 35 to 55% passing rate होता है. So with this passing rate, so out of 100 candidates, if only 40, 45 are passing, you have that credibility right from the moment you have passed the exam. And with that ready-made credibility, with that brand value on your CV, you directly get to apply, and you are then honored. You are respected for that credibility. When you write ACC in front of your name, you're respected for that. So this is the second benefit. Let me so now quickly summarize. The first two benefits we have discussed is whenever we are going for a professional certification, first one is the skill building part where we learn. Second is the competition part where instead of proving ourselves just by mentioning that we have passed the exam, we can immediately build a great first impression, build credibility, or use ACCA Institute ka brand value on our CV. That helps you in now competition eventually helps you where in our context it helps you in interview shortlist. And let's say tomorrow I meet some professional, I have to introduce myself again. I can just mention that I've completed some XYZ certification, which is that's why professional certification stand out. So the moment I mention I have some professional certification, again helps me bring credibility on the table. Now coming to the third part, when you have the required credibility, when you are competing well, it is obvious that you will eventually perform well. For example, the moment you complete knowledge level, you have all the fundamentals clear around, let's say, financial accounting, around, let's say, some basics of costing, around how business technology works. The moment you clear your skills level, which will eventually change into expertise level, when it comes to same financial reporting, when it comes to same costing, extension of costing, when it comes to other subjects, audit and assurance and so on, yeah, financial management and so on. These subjects will make sure that when you enter into an accountant, analyst, associate, junior consultant, any type of entry level roles, you know what different terms mean. You know how different data is used. You know how different data is taken to different stakeholders. And after this, when you clear your professional level, though it be SBR, so at an advanced level, you are learning reporting. At an advanced level, you have SBL, you are learning strategy part, leadership part. When you are learning out of optional subjects, it's your choice, but at an advanced level, financial management, at an advanced level, you are learning performance management, and so on. At an advanced level, you are learning audit and assurance. You are ready for middle level, senior level roles as well. And performance hand in hand brings what? When you have credibility, when you have performance, in return, it brings premium salary. In return, it brings premium salary. This is the overall, value system that is delivered by a professional certification. It all comes down to higher ROI. Because, this is not just a simple ROI calculation, by the way. Because usually, what will you consider under your ROI? How much you're investing into a certificate. That part is considered. But along with just the monetary part, you are investing time, you are investing efforts. And this, at an early stage specifically, takes you places. Takes you places at a very, very, higher pace, or I would say at a very, very, niche area, special opportunities, at a place where you are able to sustainably grow your career. And this growth is not visible, immediately in short term. It's not clearly visible. But eventually, when you observe 10 years down the line, a simple BCom candidate versus a professional certification such as ACCA, you will see difference over long term. I'll give you a quick idea. Think of it in this way. If you're someone who is, comparing yourself with BCom, let's say there's a BCom candidate who started at a package of 3 lakh. Okay, best case scenario, or at a BCom level, 3 is actually best case scenario. Then the 10-year trajectory would somewhat look like this. Let's consider this 3-year experience, 5-year experience, and then eventually 10-year experience. And let's consider this 5 lakh. Let's consider this 3 lakh, 5 lakh, 10 lakh, 15 lakh, 20 lakh, and so on. This is what a trajectory of a BCom candidate would look like. Many candidates who have just done their BCom 7 to 8 years of experience into companies like WNS, Capgemini, Genpact, and they after 7 to 8 years of experience as well, their package is somewhere around 7 lakh, 8 lakh. Okay, so at a best case scenario, after 10 years, I'm marking them a salary of somewhere around 8. This is their salary. Now, if I talk specifically about ACCA candidates, BCom plus ACCA, as a fresher, you get a small premium. Okay, small premium. Instead of 3, you will start at 4, 4.55, given that you're a fresher. This is where you actually become an ACCA professional. I'm not that great with the art part or artistic part. So this is where you should target for a promotion or a switch. And this is the point where you are likely to get your first premium. The average salary of an ACCA with 3 years of experience, obviously, is 9 to 12 lakh rupees. I'm taking you to the average parameter. But starting from a small premium and ending up with a big premium, this takes time. Now, further, if you see, the graph goes even further higher. Now, why is it going higher? We recently interviewed a vice president from an international investment bank. He's currently in this race. He has 17 years of experience. So I should take this a little further, but he's currently in the range where his package is beyond 40, 45 lakh rupees. Works with an international, rather Europe-based investment bank. Vice president, completely into business analyst, leadership role that too. Now, why is this difference? When you get a great start, you're able to take up better responsibility, more complex problems to take care of. You are able to perform better. You are able to train resources. You are able to uh, lead a project. You are able to transition a project. You are in a position to, let's say, take project from location A to location B. Digitization, automation, so many things that a professional brings to the table. But if you start low and if you don't provide enough skill set to prove yourself, then you might fall behind. That's why when you start, make sure you have a mindset that we know where we are getting into, what we are getting into, no matter what we want to crack it, no matter what we have to crack it rather. And once we crack it, you should expect value for it. Expectation part comes at the end, but believe me, when it comes through, it's worthwhile. Now, with that, I conclude the first part of our discussion, that what value ACCA brings to the team. Let's start with the second topic now, which is the roadmap, overall roadmap. See, when we talk about a hierarchy in any company, it comes in a pyramid shape where we have our senior management at the top. Think of CFO or CEO sitting at the top. And at the bottom, you have usually your analysts, your accountants, and your associates who enter into your system. Okay. Now let's take example of any typical analyst. Let's say Ankit has joined a company. he has entered the company as an analyst. Now, as an analyst, first question, typically what type of role is given to Ankit? At a very basic level, if you're someone who has, let's say, already completed ACCA, but you have zero experience, ideally, you should target something in the realm of reporting and something around IFRS reporting, nothing like it. Now, in reality, I have talked to a lot of leaders, and one feedback that I get is that Aditya, even after certifications are done, when it comes to on-job skills, using Excel, using, let's say, Power BI, creating a report, presenting a report, communication skills also comes under this. These are still under progress. These are still under progress in the sense they are yet to be built completely. The candidate is yet to be polished. So a lot of companies gets candidates into an R2R role, gets all the candidates into an R2R role. From R2R role, they are eventually shifted to something called as financial planning and analysis. My another, let's say, suggestion would be target reporting roles where within reporting you are working on, let's say, P&L closure, you are working on balance sheet closure, you are working on, let's say, some change management into reporting, and so on. If you like audit as a domain, that option is also open for you. If you like international taxation as a domain, that option is also open for you. Beyond this, if you want to target controller role, this option is also open for you. But this at a junior level, you are not an actual controller. You are assisting a controller. Over here, you are not an actual auditor. You are assisting an auditor. You're part of the audit. Over here, you are not driving change management. You're assisting. So when you go one role up, you're actually given the role. You become a senior analyst, senior associate, senior accountant, and then you take up some level of more responsibility, some level of critical responsibility. After this, the main role that you should be targeting. I mean, of course, you are, let's say, someone who's started as an analyst, but you are working more on the business side, you can transition into business analyst. Business analyst is you're closely working with the markets, your competition, and so on. That is one type of business analyst where you are more oriented towards market research. Second type of business analyst is on the tech side. When I say tech side, on technology end, how can we bring in automation? How can we digitize everything? There are a lot of roles of digital transformation opened up in lot of companies that you have a repetitive task happening. Can someone come and automate this? Can someone set up an SOP for this? Can someone set up a approval system for this? Can someone bring in more tools and softwares that will make the process efficient? This is one part where again ACCA professionals can step in. My favorite role after this is finance business partnership. Under finance business partnership, again, we are closely working with business to track competition, to track strategy, to track pricing, to track, let's say, the cost management part. And whenever, let's say, you're working into reporting segment, you have revenue side reporting, you have cost side reporting. Within revenue side reporting, you usually build expertise around, let's say, revenue recognition. Under IFRS, what all parameters are allowed. You are investigating all the variances. If higher revenue was expected, why have we missed out? If lower revenue was expected, where has the extra money coming from? What other income sources does the company have? Can we justify it? What tax treatment is required? On the costing part, again, what cost targets were given to us? If we have higher than expected cost, what led to it? If we have lower than expected cost, what was the reason behind it? And when we say targets, it can go to an extent at a senior management, go to an extent of, cutting down on products that we have, cutting down on the resources that we have, scrapping of the projects which are not giving us profit, and so on. So these are just glimpses I'm giving into different roles which ACC can eventually tap into. And finally, when you're someone who is driving a complete project, a complete unit, a complete department, or eventually a complete company. You take ownership, explanation behind each and every number, reason behind each and every gap or opportunity. You are ready to become a director or C-suite professional, starting with CFO role and hopefully making it to the CEO role as well. Now, this in, let's say, basic terms, basic parameters, tells you scope of ACCA professional as a career ahead for next 10, 15, or even 20 years. I think nowadays professionals usually target a career for 20 maximum 25 years. I don't see a lot of professionals targeting age of 50 or 60 as retirement, rather an age of 45 to 50, maximum 55 as an extension as your career. I am targeting, at the age of 50, I'm planning to retire. So let's say if I was at beginning of my career, over here we took example of Ankit, then this would be my overall roadmap for next 20 years, from all 25 years, starting from 25 till the age of 50.